Well, after logging about 7,000 miles, we made it back. And we thought that it would be really nice to just say thank you to you for being our customer and for actually, some of you waited for us to get back to buy flowers when we took this trip. So I'm going to be doing a series of videos that's going to come out over a period of about 2 or 3 months. There's so much footage from our road trip. But I thought that it would be fun to maybe give you a quick compilation of some drone video that I pulled together of all the various places that we went to, and I'll kind of walk you through it as we're going through it. But if you want to see the all the different places in detail, the photography and everything that we did, you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube channel for the photography. You're getting this on the Robert Anthony Florist channel, but in order to really see the detail, all the beautiful things that we saw and how we photographed them, and some of the unbelievable photographs that we got, you're actually going to have to go and subscribe to the photography channel. And I'm going to put a link to that in the description below, so you can get over there and subscribe, because trust me when I tell you, you don't want to miss those. And I just released a fall leaf video from up in the Upper Peninsula. You really want to see that from being up there last week. So I hope you enjoy this video, and we're again just so grateful that you supported us, allowed us to be closed for 2.5 weeks while we went around the country and just really got a lot of great video and photography. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as a customer.
Thank you.
Is that it? Okay. Bye. As we started our travel, we ended up in our first night about 12 and a half, 13 hours away from Florida. And we ended up staying the night in a hotel. Even though we had a van built that we could sleep out of, we weren't quite ready yet to be sleeping in the van for some reason. A little paranoid, I guess, maybe. But we were treated to this awesome sunset north of Memphis, Tennessee. After that, we headed across South Dakota and ended up in the Badlands. Badlands National Park is where we spent the next couple of days, what's called boondocking. We actually found a spot to park the van at the edge of a canyon, and really enjoyed the views and the scenery from Badlands National Park. Did some photography there, photographed a lot of wildlife, bighorn sheep. That's something that you do not want to miss if you want to review some of the videos that I'll be releasing. Prairie dogs, sunrises and sunsets like you can't even believe. It was cold here. When we got to Badlands National Park, it was in the mid to high 20s of all things. So after a couple of days, we hit the road and we headed toward Wyoming. While we were going to Wyoming, we stopped through, stayed overnight, hit the campsite that you're seeing here in the middle of the night. Didn't realize there was snow all over the ground. You can see we were treated to snow. And it was kind of funny to wake up to that. It was dark and we couldn't see it when we were here, but it was also cold that night, got into the 20s. But, you know, it was pretty comfortable, all things considered, in the back of our trusty Dodge Chrysler minivan van build that we put together. A lot of good scenery in this national forest as we were going through there. As we worked our way out of here, we realized as we were driving across the flatness of Wyoming with the mountains in the distance, we were having some van trouble. Ended up having to stop and get the transmission serviced, and that was exciting. After we had the transmission serviced, we were treated on the way to this awesome spectacle of a bridge. I have a fear of heights, and I'll tell you, it was a sphincter clenching moment for me to be on the edge of that baby. We ended up in the northeast side, very northeast entrance of Yellowstone. This is from our campsite just inside, no, I should say outside the national park. You're not allowed to fly drones inside the park. This campsite is outside the park, and it was spectacular. Beautiful Milky Way photography while we were in Yellowstone. Got some really great shots right from that campsite. We had to go out for some groceries in Gardenier, which is in Montana. Decided to fly the drone around and kind of show you what it looks like out in Yellowstone. And it's just beautiful out there. It's been a long time since I was there. I was a young child the last time I was there, so this is all new to me as it was to Joelle, and it was so much fun having her see all of this. It was really quite spectacular. It really, really was. Now, while we were in Yellowstone, there were so many people. It was outstandingly insane. We were supposed to do the Grand Tetons and just couldn't do it because of all the smoke and all the people from California crowding us out. So on the advice of somebody that we met in Yellowstone, we drove down the Snake River Canyon and instead opted to go to Capitol Reef National Park after stopping through Salt Lake City to see the former owner of Breck's Cookies. And for those of you that live down here or know that area or know that company, you know who I'm talking about. But they were generous and helpful to us, and didn't get any cookies. Got some marshmallow treats, so that was really good. But Joelle and I really enjoyed the views from Snake River Canyon, south of Grand Teton, going down into Utah. We really enjoyed it there. After we got through Snake River Canyon, the countryside pretty much flattened out. It was sparse, arid, dry. The roads were long and straight. It was really, to me, pretty cool. It's big sky country out there, as you can see, and the expanse is amazing. So we worked our way through and made our way down to Capitol Reef National Park. We did some hiking down there, did some really beautiful photography there. The place is, I can't recommend it highly enough. Capitol Reef National Park is my new favorite national park. Very few people there. It is very undersold, but it is unbelievable out there. If you haven't been, if you're doing the 5 parks in Utah, it's one worth doing. But we spent a couple of days in Capitol Reef, just relaxed, did some hiking, did some camping, got some great sunset photography, some epic Milky Way photography. You're going to be able to see the Milky Way photography if you subscribe to my photography channel. Again, the link to that's going to be in the description below. You can see the stunning rock formations, the gorgeous, majestic reds and oranges and yellows. It is just something to behold. It really is amazing. Joelle and I, again, spent a couple of days there. We hiked to the Golden Throne. That was pretty cool. It was a great hike. I would recommend that. And I drove Joelle back up to Salt Lake City, and we traded. She got on a plane and came back here to open up the flower shop with Elise and the rest of our staff. And I hooked up with Ed while we were there. But while we were here, we found a quaint little coffee shop. Very popular out west are the almost like a shed-style coffee shop. It's a drive-through, oftentimes on both sides, like the one that you're going to see right here. We really enjoyed the coffee at this little coffee place. Dark Sky Coffee is what it's called. Man, oh man, really knew what they were doing. And it was a lot of fun being in the Capitol Reef area. It's just a beautiful area, part of the Grand Staircase, Escalante. Ed and I, once we met, we headed up to Bryce Canyon. It was windy. You can see my camera almost blew over here while we were doing this, but the red rocks, just gorgeous. Again, this is not inside the park. If the rangers watching this and they think that it's inside the park, they're going to come after me for flying inside the park. None of my drone footage is actually in the national park. It's all national forest and outside of the wilderness areas. But this is what inside of Bryce looks like. This is part of the Dixie National Forest, just north of the Bryce Canyon entrance. So it's easy to get some footage. So Ed and I did sunrise, sunset in Bryce Canyon. Ed got lost out in the middle of Bryce Canyon. That was pretty spooky because it was getting to be nighttime, but he found his way back. Fortunately, we had cell phone service to do it. Took Ed to Deer Trap Mountain out at Zion Canyon. Can't do any real filming in Zion. It just doesn't work out with regard to the drone footage. But this is what it looks like in Zion National Park. Again, not inside the park, but we're going to come up over this ridge line here. And when we come up over this ridge line, you're actually going to see the Zion Canyon and the tops and over there across that horizon. That's Zion Canyon. We were down in there at Deer Trap Mountain. We made our way out and came through to the Monument Valley area and the Vermilion Cliffs area, and we were setting up camp here. Terrible storm blowing in, but you're going to see an amazing expanse. This was an unbelievable area. It's on 89A, going from Kanab through to Page. I'd wanted to see Horseshoe Bend, and I can't not take him to Horseshoe Bend. We're going to be right in the backyard of Horseshoe Bend, as cliche as visiting Horseshoe Bend is. But this view was amazing. This is at night. We were setting up the camp. This is the next morning. And you can see how big it is. The van is center of this at the end of the road going through the frame here. You can see how small the van looks right there. That's what we were looking at in the morning when the sun came up. It was just breathtaking. I don't know how to describe it. Came through the Mexican Hat area. Loved this river shot going through Mexican Hat. This was really, really beautiful. Neat area, desolate but cool. Part of the Monument Valley area. And then we spent a few days in Natural Bridges National Monument. Probably my favorite stop on the trip. I loved it there. And on the way out, we had the sunrise, stopped and enjoyed it, took it in. Found a mountain range or a mountain ridge that we could climb across. And we just really took in the morning, because it was after this morning right here. This was the morning that we were going to start heading back through Arizona, New Mexico, across. And you can just see the views out there are to die for. So again, really grateful that you allowed us the opportunity to do this, that you continue to support us, that you're a great cheerleader for us. And I hope that you'll consider subscribing to the Robert Anthony Photography YouTube channel, because you're going to see unbelievable videos from all of these parks that you're going to learn how to photograph, and you're going to see amazing, amazing photography. Thanks again. We appreciate you so much and look forward to the winter season with you as our customers.